Welcome to another in our ongoing series of 5-minute webinars. Today, we're going to talk about the difference between of business and personal. So, years ago, there used to be a saying, it's nothing personal, it's just business. And oftentimes, that phrase was used when you had to make a hard decision, when you had to choose between working with somebody that you know and like and working with a vendor that was going to give you a more inexpensive product. In two people that you were trying to promote, or even two different organizations that you might want to do work with. But here's the problem. There is no difference between personal and business. And so how do we enable the folks in our organizations to be successful, productive, and grow within the company and help the company grow when the gap between business and your personal life is no longer there?
And Anil, there's a couple of statistics from IBM's workforce study in 2014 that really illustrate that point for us. First is they've identified that annually companies are losing about 30% of their skill base. And that's not due necessarily to just attrition. That's due to the fact that people are moving between positions or haven't had to conduct a particular process or skill in a length of time, and they're actually losing the ability to do so. 30% is a big loss. Now, you put that also with employees, especially new employees, are up to 12 times more likely to consider leaving the company if they don't think their personal needs for career development and skill development are being met. New employees are 30 times more likely to make that same decision. So as an organization, we've really got to look long and hard at stopping this knowledge leak.
Absolutely. And if employees nowadays are feeling like, well, if my skills aren't being developed, if my personal goals for my career aren't being attended to, then I'm going to leave. And so that makes business personal. So what do we do to bridge that gap? Well, there's a couple of really important things that we need to consider. So one is enabling people to get trained in a way that fills their own goals. So how do we do that? Well, the way that we do that is we connect what people are doing to something that's more meaningful than just their job. Because if millennials are leaving because their personal goals aren't getting met, where are they going? They're going someplace where they feel like their role has impact. And that leads us directly back to the notion of helping employees understand their connection to gaining and retaining customers, or that line of sight. And the most direct way to make that happen is through learning and development. In fact, I might say it's one of the highest impact ways to do that, to help them see how their role and doing their role in a more effective way actually does fulfill their own personal goals and does make the organization more effective.
Unquestionably, Anil, when people feel engaged, that is, they have that line of sight to the customer and their focus is on gaining and retaining new customers, but 78% of those surveyed demonstrated incredible customer service skills. 17% of those who didn't have that line of sight demonstrated those same skills. But maybe even more important to the business and speaking to aligning to the training and the learning to the needs of the business, how about that 79% of those who had that line of sight and felt engaged in the company's goals were willing to recommend the brand to their colleagues and people, where only 17% of those who did not have that same level of engagement or that same line of sight were willing to recommend the brand.
And how is it that an employee can really be engaged with an organization if they can't even recommend the product or the service that they're working to get out into the world? So the question that we'd ask you as a learning and development professional, as an HR professional, as an OD professional, is, are you making that kind of impact? Is the hard work that you're doing not only setting your organization up for success in the short term, but ensuring that the people that you are training are going to be your leaders in the future, are going to be your rock star salespeople, not next quarter, but 13 quarters from now? And if you're not, maybe you should. Maybe you should be taking a look at the long-term impact of the work that you're doing to forward the goals of your organization.
And if you're ready to get started, we're ready to help. Click on the link below to learn more about our line of sight training and how to create incredible experiences for your customers.